listening to Sports Radio Detroit.
Hello and welcome back to Grave Discussions.
The first October episode of Grave Discussions.
That's right. And that was my tremendous, horrendous co-host.
I think horrendous is more of an insult, but thank you, I am Samael.
Horrendous in a good way.
And that guy who just kind of backhanded complimented me is Barnabas.
Yes. And welcome to episode 30, just a bunch of Hocus Pocus. So we're going to be starting October off right by talking about some family-friendly but very nostalgic and just captivating family horror, in air quotes, for the Halloween season. Before we do that, we just want to give a quick shout out to Sports Radio Detroit, our gracious hosts.
Yes, and you can follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. That's Sports Radio Detroit. SRD, the one and only. Yes. You can't miss them.
Nope. And you can go to their website too, sportsradiodetroit.com, and you can check out our show. And they have a ton of other awesome shows like Over Under Fair, who we're going to be partnering with coming up here pretty soon.
Oh yeah. Our first joint.
Yeah, kind of crossover episode. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not canon in their world, but now we will be.
Yes, we're gonna write ourselves in. So. Go check all of those awesome shows out at Sports Radio Detroit. Right now, we're going to start off with the news, as always, before we get, feverishly spooky in here with our main segment. But actually, great news here. Friday the 13th, I think, we've all kind of at least sort of heard about this drama, the lawsuit and everything.
Oh, yeah, and everyone has been kind of shit-talking Victor Miller, even though, he's not, the fucking antagonist here, you know what I'm saying? People have been just kind of shitting on him left and right. Mostly it's Friday the 13th, the game fanboys who have been able to get their Jason X, because we were supposed to get that was hinted in the that one virtual cabin mode. We were supposed to get Cyber Jason or Uber Jason, sorry fanboys, and that's why people are pissed, and people were expecting a new movie sometime soon, and that all got fucked up because of this whole lawsuit. But Victor Miller is one of the original screenwriters. Mm-hmm. He's without Friday the 13th, without him, there would be no Jason, there would be no Mrs. Voorhees, there would be no anything. So you guys need to chill out.
Yeah, honestly, it's all just because they can't get their literally, you're right, and that's so sad because this is a case of. Imagine if you created something, right? In a hypothetical scenario. Say we created
I've never created anything.
Say we created Cross Kicker, right?
Oh my god.
We did create that. Say we created that, and we sold it for $100 to fucking Joe Schmo in the bar or some shit, right? And then it went on to make $3 trillion, and then 35 years. That's a long fucking time. 35 years later, we were like, hey, you know what? I want my rights back to Cross Kicker,
Yeah.
Or the first script at least or whatever. And then people got mad at me about it after I wanted to own the thing that I created.
And there's supposed to be a brief period of time where he could be able to buy the rights. There's supposed to be that little period in which after a certain amount of time Victor Miller can and they didn't want to let him. So
35 years later,
Victor Miller, we're with you, bro. We fucking love you, man.
So basically the news is that actually, like I said, very good news. Victor Miller has won the first round of this legal battle against Sean Cunningham. And I say round one because there's still a long way to go. A judge gave a summary judgment in his favor. But I believe that there's still a lot more stuff to be done.
They said even if this lawsuit gets done, I read this months ago, even if this gets done, it'll still be 2 years before any new content can be released.
Really?
About 2 years, yeah.
I haven't seen any mention of that, so I gotta read whatever article.
Yeah, so they said on the Friday the 13th group on Facebook, they can't add Uber Jason. The only thing they can do is fix glitches. They can't add new content, new perks, new nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, because it's all related.
Now all they have is their dedicated fan base, and however many dedicated Friday players there are, I'm sure there's at least a good 20,000. So
yeah, I mean, I'm sure people will keep playing the game, but it is tough when you. I mean, I don't even think they can like work on updates or anything.
By the way, for PlayStation Network, Friday the 13th is free.
Free. Yeah, I'm about to download it.
You should
Probably when I get home tonight. Which there's also some news for you, but yeah, if you guys are kind of invested in this, hopefully it gets done, sooner than 2 years from now, because that's a really long time, especially for a series like this. But yeah, hopefully sooner than later. I'm crossing my fingers.
Hey, but if you're itching for some Jason, there's this fan film where the Tommy Jarvis from Part 6, he was in it.
Oh, nice.
It's called Never Hike Alone, and it's legit.
I think you've told me about that. I haven't watched it yet.
You and our viewers need to check out Never Hike Alone.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay.
I think it's like 56 minutes long or 45 minutes long. But Tommy Jarvis is in there. Like, hey,
yeah.
Maggot Head. He even says Maggot Head in here. It's great, bro.
Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna check it out.
Jason will not die.
Yeah, no. As long as people are out there making that kind of stuff, then there'll always be Jason stuff around. But let's move on. I
was excited about this.
Another really iconic character, Hellboy. I'm sure that most people have heard about this, but Hellboy is supposed to be getting a rated R reboot. Originally, it was coming out January 11th, 2019. Now it's April 12th, 2019. But I'm okay with that. I don't mind waiting, because a new poster just dropped with David Harbour from Stranger Things as Hellboy.
He looks cock-teasy. You seen that?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, dude. This poster looks sick. It's all red and fiery and everything. It's got the horns.
I saw that on the Horror Everything Facebook page. I didn't even know about this. Like, I just found out before you.
You didn't know about the reboot?
Like right before, like the day before I read. So the day before yesterday is when I found out about this.
So so this is new to you in general.
Yeah, this is new to me in general.
Did you watch the original Hellboys?
Yeah, but I watched them once, so like.
Yeah, I got you.
I remember his dog Samael. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I really liked both of them. I mean, it's Guillermo del Toro. He's phenomenal, but he definitely added more of like a fantasy element to those movies, and this one is supposed to be more horror based.
Ooh.
Yeah, with like actual, probably scarier monsters and everything.
The first two Hellboys were super fantasy-ish, but they were also like super actiony. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Like it was like when shit went down, it went down hardcore, and that's what I liked about it. Yeah. Because like it was I don't know. The first one seemed more like a fun movie for everyone to like, to put this guy up on like a pedestal, like some Deadpool shit. Now it seems like, I don't know. I really like them going in the more horror direction rather than in the just. Hey, we're gonna kill some demons with this half demon man.
I mean, I think the Golden Army, which was part 2, I think that did go in a little bit more of a serious direction, but yeah, super fantasy and action themed. I think this one's gonna be pretty action packed too, but yeah, definitely going with a more horror vibe. I think that's the right way to go, because even in the comics, it explores a lot of like really serious kind of darker themes, and with the art style, everything seems a lot more like kind of gritty and everything, so that's kind of the vibe I'm hoping to get from the new movie.
Sounds like you like the second one better than the first one.
Hellboy, the originals? Yeah. Kind of, yeah. Honestly, I kind of did, because I thought that the storyline was also just way cooler.
Yeah.
Because the first movie was pretty, like I understood that was kind of like the main thing with him fighting off the guy who wants to like summon Hellboy's like, fucking devil like entity thing or whatever that's attached to him or that is him. But the second one I thought was a lot cooler, just because it had like these elves and there was this whole big war and everything, and there was like this unstoppable army. I don't know, for me that's kind of cooler.
Yeah, it was more like intense.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I don't know what the whole storyline behind this one is. It's a reboot, so I'm expecting it to be kind of similar to the first Hellboy. But yeah, we'll see.
Like I said, it could be fucking fire.
Yeah.
Or it could be a shitstorm. I think this is one of those movies where there's not going to be a mid-ground. Like you're not going to be like, it was okay, because it's going to be pretty big once it comes out. So it's either people like, wow, it was great, or like the people on like the horror movie addicts page and be like, fucking terrible. Like the guys that can't like anything. It's like,
there'll be people like that.
You seen Hereditary? Terrible. Have you seen Predator? I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
You should watch like fucking the Nosferatu, the silent one. It's like, all right.
It's just like, you should get a life, man.
Chill out, Jeffrey, born in 1963. All right. Why are you on social media? You're way too old.
I don't get it at all. But
shave that mustache.
Yeah, guys. Go check out the poster for Hellboy if you haven't seen it yet, and then be prepared in April 2019 to see that. Now, next up, just some.
I was looking through them yesterday before I even read it.
Yeah, they look good, man.
Because I was originally looking to rewatch Hocus Pocus because they usually had it on Hulu, so I went over to the spooky, not scary section. Yeah, but they didn't have it. Oh, I had to rent it from Prime.
Yeah, I couldn't find it anywhere to stream.
So fucking worth it. I love that shit.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff coming out on Hulu and Prime for October. They kind of have their own sort of Halloween-based things. I think even I saw Netflix has something called Netflix and Chills.
Yeah. Oh my god. I can't believe they acknowledged that whole thing.
I know.
They shouldn't have never acknowledged Netflix and Chill.
I agree, but I don't know what they have on there. But there's a bunch of new stuff coming out on Netflix, but also on Hulu and Prime. So Hulu is going to feature something called Halloween, which is actually I believe it's 8 short films that are all original, and they're basically just showcasing them off. I heard they're not like super scary, but I'm all about indie films, so I'll probably check them out. They've also got Into the Dark, which we're going to talk about actually, coming out with their first episode, The Body. They have American Psycho, Once Bitten, The Hills Have Eyes, and then some standouts on Prime for me were Carrie, Diabolique, Nightbreed, Return of the Living Dead, and then later on in the month, The Strangers Pray at Night and Donnie Darko.
No way, they're releasing Strangers Pray at Night like for free?
Apparently. But I don't.
Why? That was a good movie.
I know. Well, it'll make more people buy Hulu. I don't know.
Nightbreed, that one's on Tubi.
Yeah.
Darkwalker stood out for me on Prime because it seems like it's like a 90s creature flick. And also I watched Apartment 212 on the one that's on Prime and Tubi.
Yeah.
It's a creature flick.
Oh, nice.
I thought it was supernatural. It's not.
Was it good?
It was pretty unsettling. I liked it though. Like it's like the whole movie was like.
Yeah.
It was like a slow burn, but stuff happened off screen, you know? It was one of those. And then finally when it happens, you're like, aha. So yeah, that's another one for me, I would say.
Okay.
Another one for me is Apartment 212. I saw someone recently on the horror page talking about this movie on Tubi too also. It's called It Waits, the one that we were on.
Yeah.
They said it was good. They saw it back on the Sci-Fi Channel years ago. Oh. So it's like a sci-fi. I think it's one of those sci-fi original movies. So I think it'll be fire because I don't think Sci-Fi has ever let me down.
Well, even the stuff that they just show normally, it was pretty good, at least back in that day.
Fucking Death Valley, The Revenge of Bloody Bill. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
That was a Sci-Fi original.
Oh, nice. Okay.
A lot of the original sci-fi movies were like independent horror and like from like 2000 and like I would say 2 to like up until like high school. Like that was like my main channel. Like even like around Halloween time, Sci-Fi and ABC Family, like basically channels 50 through
those were the best.
50 through 59. Those if you have Comcast.
Yeah.
If you don't, I'm not listing them off. But check out our. We should post this list. Like, no, you know what? Go to Prime. Go to Halloween. You'll see it and.
Yeah.
Go to Netflix. Go to the horror section. It's not that difficult. Just,
right.
You know how to find the scary stuff, guys. If you're here, you know how to look for it, and you know how to find it.
Yeah. The hard thing is sometimes that it won't always show like all the new movies that they put on there. So
this is true.
The lists are pretty good. But let's move on. We've got a couple trailer announcements. Actually, a lot of trailer announcements today because October just started. So
all of these are good.
Yes. Okay, so the first one is Into the Dark. Now, that's the series. It's a monthly series that's going to be releasing October 5th on Hulu. So it's only one episode a month, which makes me believe that it's like a full-length movie. But the first episode is called The Body, and just in time for Halloween, it's a horror one. And this one actually looks pretty good. It's about a hitman, I think, who's like trying to get rid of a body on Halloween, but everybody thinks that it's his costume. So I think he's got to like pick off the people who like start like annoying him and stuff, like trying to figure out who he is.
It seems like he killed and he was like ranting about people in masks and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd like Michael.
Yeah, I think he's just like insane.
It seems like it. I don't know, like they called him the British American Psycho.
Yeah.
I think that seemed right, but he didn't have like. He looked more angry than, was it Norman Bates? Was it? No, Bateman, Patrick Bateman. That's him, right?
Yes.
That's from American. He looked angrier than Patrick Bateman. Patrick Bateman had this like sort of like smiley, sort of happy sometimes.
Oh, you said this guy did? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he looked more like
he's like Patrick Bateman with like a fucking who's that? Jason Statham face. Like he
did seem like super jaded too. He actually reminded me of this one American actor, but I don't think it's the same person at all.
You never know. It could be some American thing. Oh, my. You know, with the whole British accent. It happens.
Possibly. But that one comes out October 5th on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, and I think you should have it at this point, you can go check that one out. The next one is about a video game that we're actually really excited about.
Dude, I've been talking about this for since... I've been talking about this for the last year.
Yeah, for real. Honestly.
So the name of this game that's coming out is called... Last Year, The Nightmare. Do you get my pun now? But it's this survival game. There's like a few maps to choose from. You could go to a school. If you didn't know, you can go to a campground, which is basically...
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, you can go to a campsite, which is basically Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So it's like you could put traps in front of the lockers, so when the survivors go look for a locker, they get stuck in the trap, and then you can ambush them from like the roof of the school. So there's a lot of shit you can do. And you know what really sucks is I'm not a PC gamer. You're the PC gamer.
Yeah.
And this is coming out first for PC. Then apparently if it gets the green light, thumbs up, if it's good enough for console, then it'll be released for console. But I think, fuck, man, this should have been like a fucking... I want to be stingy. Xbox only game. Like,
ooh, yeah, I don't know about that. But, I mean, Dead by Daylight did come out for the PC first, I believe. So I guess it makes sense. Like if it's a new like game and everything, they want to make sure that everything is like perfect before they release it to console.
It took them a good year or two. I think 2 years to release Dead by Daylight to console, though. That's what's kind of
So I mean, hopefully if it's even more popular, then I think it's got a good chance of coming out sooner. But I don't know how those things work exactly. But basically, there's a trailer out for it, which is an official trailer. It's pretty cool because it actually shows not only a number of different killers, and like one's kind of like an axe murderer, one's this like brawler, one's I think like using magic or some shit. I don't know. So you can be a bunch of different killers. You can be a bunch of different survivors too. But the cool thing about the survivors is it looks like you can like not only go outside the building, like if you're at the school, but you can like climb through the air vents or something like that. And then you can get all this cool equipment, and you can actually fight back against the killers with like a flamethrower, and there's like some other stuff like a crowbar or something. So it looks pretty cool. I'm actually pretty excited for it. I like the look of the killers. I like just like the features that are in the game. So I'm pumped for it. Definitely check it out. It's supposed to be coming out this fall through the Discord store on PC. Next up is another Netflix release actually coming out also on October 5th called Malevolent.
Oh, this looks like this is the one I said has like the same premise as the last Exorcism. So these people, they're kind of like paranormal phonies.
Yeah.
And then they go to check some paranormal stuff out, and guess what? This is real, and their phoniness gets exposed, and then bad stuff starts happening.
Yeah,
because that's how it always is.
It kind of reminds me of The Conjuring too, because initially they kind of like dismiss stuff like, well, it could just be your water heater or whatever.
Your water heater could be causing those hallucinations of a demon raping you while you're sleeping. Like,
except that they're like pros basically, and like they're for real. Whereas these people are like you said, just phonies. They're going to like try to make a buck, and then they encounter some real stuff. So it's not like the most original premise ever, but the trailer looked pretty cool. It was kind of atmospheric, kind of bump in the night kind of horror, So yeah, it looks cool.
I don't know. I'm pumped. I mean, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna be waiting till when it's 11:59 p.m.
Yeah.
And midnight hits. When is that? Is it? No, tomorrow night. Technically tomorrow night.
Technically tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't think we should do a chopping block on this yet because.
Yeah.
Halloween. We're just gonna discuss like the movies we listed off.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So yeah, real quick, if you guys didn't know, I know I didn't say. I don't think.
Yeah, no.
But since it is October officially now, we're gonna do more like Halloween themed movies and just discuss them really. So we're not really gonna focus on those other segments. We want it to be like 2000% like Halloween vibe on this show for this month. So all that stuff is gonna come back after, and I'm sure we'll compile a bunch of movies. So maybe we'll just do like a makeup, here's a chopping block for like 3 different movies or something.
Yeah, we could just knock them out real quick.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out in October, so we know that not all of you are going to watch it right away. If you wanted to wait a bit or something and hear some opinions, we got you.
And you're going to notice as the weeks progress over the next 4 weeks, the movies we choose will be darker and more darker themes. So as the month progresses, we go from family friendly to, I think next we should like kind of, it's easy to slide from family friendly into the more dark horror, simply with vampires. I think that vampires are the key. So sure, I think
I was thinking we do more of like a, monster themed Halloween episode. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, we could talk about it actually. Yeah, we could. Yeah. I mean, we could cover Dracula, Frankenstein, and fucking Wolfman in the classic ones.
Yeah. Or whatever, any kind of monster movies that are very Halloween.
We're going to try to touch on like every aspect.
Oh yeah, of course.
Wouldn't it be cool if we released 2 episodes a week? Like
oh man, that would be hard, but maybe one day it'll be possible. But let's move on just to the next 2 trailers that we have for you guys. I'm going to cover them real quick because we're still kind of running late here with the news, but Open 24 Hours is a cool looking slasher that's be coming out at the Sitges. I believe that's actually how it's pronounced, the Sitges. I think it's pronounced Sitges or something like that. But anyway, that's in Spain actually. It's a horror festival. So that's actually happening from tomorrow on, which for you guys will probably be already like the previous day, October 4th through the 14th. So I guess if you're in Spain, then you can go see Open 24 Hours. And then the next final trailer announcement is about Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So that dropped today, which is Wednesday. So you guys may have already seen it, but that movie, or the show actually, is coming out on October 26th on Netflix. It's kind of a darker reboot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So very exciting. But the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch had a very kind of kiddie vibe to it.
Yeah, it was super friendly.
Yeah, so, and this one's going to be a lot darker, but I think that just those family friendly, like not really horror movies, but like Halloween type movies, they just have a really special place in my heart, and that's why we're going to be covering 2 of the most famous ones today.
Look, these are the bread and butter of the month of October, okay? Yes. If you don't watch these 2, you are shit. No, maybe not that extent, but you should, seriously, you should check. I mean, you've heard of Hocus Pocus, I'm sure.
Yes.
And you've heard of Halloweentown.
Yes.
And if you, like, I watched both of them. I had to kill them in one night because that's tradition.
Yes, of course.
When we were little, it would pop up on ABC Family and Disney, and like one would be playing, and then while that one's on commercial, you go to the other one, and then you're like, oh look, this one's playing the next day, and this one's not. You can kind of catch up, watch it twice, just because like I'd watch Hocus Pocus like 100 times when I was a kid. Like every time it would come on, I didn't give a shit. And yeah, man, I think these are definitely like the two main ingredients to start off October. Like you can't start off October without Disney and ABC Family.
Agreed. So what do you think makes these kind of movies like so perfect for Halloween specifically, but just as like an overall watch? And why do you think they're always kind of associated when we talk about Halloween and like horror movies and stuff?
Because I think this was like everyone's gateway into like the spooky shit. Obviously at Halloween, I think if you weren't into horror, Halloween probably piqued your interest when you were a kid. You saw those masks. And now you get this Hocus Pocus movie. There's 2 witches. You're a kid. You're watching this on ABC Family. Your parents are in the living room. If you got siblings, they were next to you watching it. You're eating candy. You got 3 cavities and you don't give 2 shits because you're just... I don't know. It's just something in me that loves these movies. And I don't think it's just me. Like these aren't like cult classics. These are just classics. Like these are, I would say Hollywood classics. But like this is when like movies were like fantastic. I mean, the premise is great. Like, oh look, they're in Salem, Massachusetts, right? For Hocus Pocus, I'm saying. That's the one we'll talk about first.
Okay.
Let's go in order, because Hocus Pocus is always the first one I watch. So
yeah, that's true. Me too. Yeah.
I didn't even watch Halloweentown until I was like 7.
Oh yeah.
I watched Halloween before I watched Halloweentown. I remember telling the kids at school, like, "Have you guys seen Halloween?" And they were like, "Halloweentown." I was like, "Oh no, not that kiddie movie." Like, but like I don't know, Hocus Pocus. It was great. So there's this kid Max, and Max is new. He's from California. So he doesn't believe all the dogma and all that stuff about the witches, all those fairy tales and shit. So they're like, so he's like, people are giving him a rough time because he doesn't believe, and he gets his Nike stolen. Hey, California. By these fucking douchebags from Salem. One of them wears like a leather jacket. Ice, and who's the fucking other guy?
I don't even know his name.
I don't know, but by the end of the movie, they were in cages. They were about to get eaten by the witches. But, so a virgin was supposed to like stumble across this like candle and light it or whatever, so these witches can be reborn from like 300 years ago. And of course, Max, the virgin from California, does exactly this. They end up getting chased by these witches. These witches like run into like a fake Satan, and they threaten his wife, and they're like, that's not our master. And then they go about their ways, and you get the famous line from Max, it's just a bunch of hocus pocus. And you're like, oh my god, that's why they called the movie. That's why they called the movie. They called this movie Hocus Pocus because Max said it's nothing but hocus pocus. Like that was like the whole premise behind that one fucking scene. And I think a lot of us with like strict parents, like this was probably like the first Halloween themed movie or Halloween, any type of sort of spooky scary movie we were allowed to watch. Because parents be like, oh, I can't let watch my kid Jason turn someone into stew. So how about some witches? This was like the gateway. I think Halloween combined with Hocus Pocus are like the gateway drugs into horror movies and becoming a fanatic with Halloween. Yeah, because they introduce all of that witchcraft and monsters and all that kind of stuff at an early age. You know what was really genius about Hocus Pocus? So Halloween is about wearing masks to ward off evil spirits. Did you notice when the witches went back into town, they're like, I smell children, but I don't see them. That's what they were going. That's what they were going with, and I was like, oh my god, that's so fucking genius. Like, yeah, that is super smart. That's probably where the barn got it from. Remember? I thought that was like a tried and true like Halloween rule or something like that. That's what I really liked. That's why I really enjoy these movies. I mean, it like I said, I say this about all the movies that make me feel this way. This bitch radiates the Halloween spirit. This movie does. Yeah, it does. It radiates the Halloween spirit. It's a classic. And, of course, the classic song, I Put a Spell on You. Yeah, that was cool. I was listening to it last night. I was turning up, bro. I was like, yeah. And they're all just, like, dancing, freaking out and stuff. I think when I was a kid, I used to have a crush on the Sarah Jessica Parker witch. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But then I seen Sarah Jessica Parker. Well, yeah. In that movie, though, I definitely had a crush on her. I will say that. But because the fat one and then the old one, it's like that was. Yeah, okay, they're witches. We get it. Yeah, I was like 6. I was like, that's not. I was doing it, but I like the pretty one. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, like the whole concept just really intrigued me at first. And then, the concept itself is Halloween-y, but it's really like the rest of the movie, the atmosphere, the set design, the music, I don't even know how it's like that fluty kind of, music. Yeah. It just plays on like all the Disney like Halloween themed stuff. What was so great? The fucking when the witches were like electrocuting Max, the cheesy special effects. It wasn't super cheesy, but it was just like. Well, yeah. Now looking back at it, it's cheesy, but. Well, yeah. I mean, but it was cool back then. It's the '90s, bro. It's. I don't know. Like it's like when you give when a fucking 10-year-old kid learns how to use fucking Photoshop. It's like fucking here. Look, I got fucking muscles. Like it's like here, bitch, electricity. Like that's what that shit was like. I don't know, man. Funny. I fucking love Hocus Pocus, man. Yeah, it had a lot of good practical effects too, though. This is one of my only 10 out of 10 movies. I swear. I swear. It's great. Yeah, I swear. There are lessons to be learned in this movie. Do not light Okay, look, don't be a virgin. I know. Okay, I know a lot of movies have like really like implicit like subliminals they're trying to send to you, except The Descent. Okay, the point of The Descent was don't go in the caves. Don't go in caves. Now the point of this is don't be a virgin and do not light candles in a fucking house where witches allegedly lived. Bro, there was a book with an eyeball. The eyeball moved. Why would you fucking light that candle? I agree. Even if you don't believe in shit like that, Mr. Skeptic, I don't believe in the witches, but even though this movie is about witches. Right. And then he fucking goes and conjures like Satan's trifecta of like witches. Like, come on. Right. But like, I don't know, man. Like, when I have kids, I'm definitely gonna force feed them Goosebumps. Are You Afraid of the Dark, Hocus Pocus, and Halloweentown for the holidays. They're gonna be like, I want to watch, adventure. Shut the fuck up! You're gonna watch the fucking Hocus Pocus. And then my wife's gonna be like, "Stop, Sam! What are you doing? He's just a bum." Shut up! Shut the fuck up! We're watching Hocus Pocus. That's gonna be like it's gonna be like my Halloween month.
I'm just gonna watch it on like some mobile thing, and I'm gonna put the headphones around my pregnant wife's belly. And she'll be like, "You listen to Hocus Pocus, you know. I'll put a spell on you." Like
3 months later, Barnabas was divorced.
The baby came out really old and ugly.
Right.
And she was trying to like suck my soul out. Like,
"Honey, where'd this broom come from?" Like, is it just in the fucking hospital room?
"What's this stew? It tastes like dead feet."
Is this the eye of a newt?
But yeah, it's super nostalgic. Just the way that it was
so many memories
created. Yeah, it was so great.
And it's like it wasn't. I don't want to say bad acting, but like the acting was like super 90s.
Yeah, it was very like deliberately just
exaggerated.
You know, yeah.
It was like, "Hey, California." Like I don't know. Like that guy was like really
was crazy, bro.
I swear. Like, and then when he was getting bullied by like 8 people in front of his sister, they would have murdered me. Like, they couldn't murder your little sister if they tried, bro.
Yeah,
like,
that was like probably one of the best characters, honestly. But yeah, the acting was pretty exaggerated. I mean, it was for like, you know, a Disney movie. So I get it, because it was supposed to appeal to kids, and as a kid, like, you know, I liked them making their weird ass faces and like, you know, just being super dramatic when they tell jokes and stuff.
Yeah, you know? I mean, it kind of, when you're a kid and watching this stuff, because you don't know emotions and how you're really supposed to react to situations. So when at least in the 90s when we grew up and watched this shit, we were just like, "Oh, this is pretty good. I think they should get an Academy Award for their performances in these movies right here."
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. I mean, I probably thought all the special effects were like real or something too. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, it was very cool. You know, it kept your attention. It honestly had good writing to it, I thought. You know, this is like a movie that, you know, if it wasn't a movie, like if it was the actual story, I would want to tell the story like around a campfire or something, you know.
Yeah.
And it would be probably very entertaining.
But yeah, man. What's your final out of 10? What's your final score on this one? Because for me, like, this is a solid 10 for me, man. Just because like of how much this movie does for Halloween, how much it did for even Disney, and for like just I don't want to say horror, but this is one of the gateway movies into horror.
Yeah. Honestly, on like a you know, in my feels type scale, it's definitely a 10 out of 10 for sure. Yeah. Actual movie wise, I mean, I might have to not give it a 10, but it's phenomenal. I mean, I don't know what more you can say
it's the Halloween.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
We're rating the amount of Halloween spirit radiating off these
Halloween
films.
Spirit, this one is definitely a 10 out of 10.
This one's like a 40 out of 10.
Yeah, this one's like a lot out of 10.
What's more than 10? I'll give you something, but I don't know it. So just give it more than 10, whatever it is.
Just draw the greater than sign.
Right? Like this movie greater than rating scale.
Yes.
So this one was great, but...
Yeah.
But
if we're talking about Halloween vibes.
If we're talking about super, super Halloween vibes, almost as much as Hocus Pocus, if not more, because there's a whole town where it's Halloween every single day. Where's this? What's the name of this town?
It's called Spooky. No, I'm just kidding. It's Halloweentown.
That's a little redundant.
Yeah, I know, right? It's very obvious. It's very to the point, but Halloweentown exists in this world.
Now, if you're a 2016, like if you're like 16 or 17 right now, just know that I hate you. But also, if you have not watched these movies, just for nostalgia's sake, just watch what we watched. Feel how we felt. It might, of course, it's corny, but you know, we think you little assholes are corny. So check this movie out. And in Halloweentown, this is the premise for, like I said, for all of you that haven't watched it. So there's a girl, right? She has a little sister who just stares out the window all day because she wants to go trick-or-treating. Yeah. And her brother's like a douchebag nerd. He's like, "Yeah, did you know that people put razor blades in the apple? Candy rot your teeth and whatever." You know, the little shit nerdy kid with
like,
the glasses.
I'd rather watch a nature documentary. Like, all right, go fuck yourself,
like, go
Billy,
fucking cut your hair. You're about to be a mullet, you piece of shit. But But yeah, it starts off with that little fucker like, ain't it my Halloween cavities? And then so Dylan, basically, that's the kid's name, and he's a douchebag, right?
Yeah.
That's his name. All right, cool. And then there's Agatha Cromwell, which is that's
the grandma. Yeah.
Yep, that's the grandma. She's like the one that's like telling her daughter, who is the kid's mother's, if you didn't know how that works. So she's telling her daughter, hey, lay off the kids, you know, I need their help, you know, they're special, we're gonna need them. And then, you know, her daughter's like, no, they're my kids. Man, Halloween is bad. You know how it goes. You know how some adults are, especially this lady, because she might have some PTSD dealing with Halloween.
Right.
Because she's not who we think she is. This, my friends, if you're listening right now to this episode of Grave Discussions, in Halloweentown, the 4 young women are witches, but they are the protagonists.
That's true.
But initially, actually, the mom was kind of she was like the fucking...
Yeah, she was kind of an asshole.
Yeah, so antagonist right there. The mom, I hate you. Her name was Gwen, right?
Yes. Okay,
so the mom, Gwen, she's being a fucking asshole. You can't celebrate Halloween. Why can't we celebrate Halloween? Because your grandma's fucking crazy. So, you know, the kids sneak over to find their grandma. So they go to Halloweentown, where everyone's like, there's like dog people and there's like ghosts in fucking saunas, and they need like ghost sweat for whatever reason. I remember them taking the sweat off.
Yeah, they had to like create a spell or something like that.
And apparently the sweat of an obese ghost was one of the ingredients in the
I guess.
And so there's this like shady ass mayor named Calabar, which, if I meet you and your name's Calabar, I'm gonna assume you're evil right off the bat, especially if you're in a position of power.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, this is our mayor, Calabar. Oh, and here's our president, Satan. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on?
Lucifer, right? Morningstar. Like, yeah, that's not suspicious at all.
Right? My name is Louis Cypher. I've actually seen this somewhere, and that didn't turn out so well. We haven't seen Johnny ever since.
I've seen you before in the movie Robert De Niro. Right. I know who you really are.
Oh, do you?
As he cracks an egg open.
But there's this creepy ass mayor who. Okay, let me backtrack. So the grandma shows the kids like this like future like vision thing in her pot like lizard legs that can tell the future, just cauldron, whatever the fuck. How do witches? We need lizard legs. We need the eye of a 5-year-old and 17 thumbnails of anorexic teenagers, and we can create this stew. All right, what are we going to do with this stew? We're going to use it as a mirror to see into the future. Why don't you just use a mirror? I don't know. But that basically happens, and then, you know, the mother's, like the grandmother, she sees the future. It shows like some evil guy. He's like, and he has like yellow eyes and like, what is that, like blue skin? Or no, he had like orange skin, right?
It looked like he had like a scarecrow like sack over his head.
Yeah, he was wearing a hood of some sort.
Yeah, like a mask.
He was just like, horrible things are coming to Halloweentown. I'm like, I'm just sitting there looking at that shit like, you're scared of a demon? Bro, do you see those humans with dog faces that are working out at the fucking yoga place? Are you serious right now? Are you fucking shitting me?
Those things looked way creepier than him.
Bro, there's there's demons running around here. What's up? We get one fucking wizard with the fucking hood on, and it's the end of the fuck. Guys, it's gonna be the end of Halloweentown. The nerd is here, because no one likes motherfuckers that used to dress as wizards. They ruin all the fun. I think that's what this movie is trying to signify. Get this demon wizard out of here. So,
but Nightmare on Elm Street 3 made it kind of cool.
He still died, so I don't care.
Yeah,
they want, like they said, Hollywood wants to kill wizards. So we find out later on in the movie that there's a kid helping this like evil dude, and this evil dude, like, this is my favorite part, they're at like the theater, and the evil dude, spoiler alert, it's the mayor with the fucking demonic name Calabar. If you didn't fucking bro, hold on,
Calabar.
Okay, pause right now. Calabar, does that still sound evil to you?
It does,
like with a fresh slate, with a clean slate, without you even thinking about it?
Yeah.
Calabar, that's evil, bro.
Yeah, that sounds super evil.
Okay, so their version of the Antichrist freezes Gwen, freezes Agatha, and then like the kids are like, you know, they're like, what's her name? The daughter.
Marnie.
Was it Marnie?
Yeah.
She was like, we gotta get out of here. We gotta save them. And then Dylan's bitch ass was like, we gotta save ourselves first if we're gonna save them. And the grandma was like, it's just a evil freeze spell. And then she froze. That was like the worst thing.
That was such a random line. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously there were a lot of parts in this movie that were objectively bad, but super nostalgia here. The Halloween vibes, I think, in my opinion, were definitely stronger with this movie than with Hocus Pocus, because it's literally a town where it's Halloween every day. There's like dog people and gremlins and trolls and like vampires and shit, you know.
Hocus Pocus was pretty dark though, and
it was.
I mean, it talked about virgins. It talked about.
This one was a lot lighter.
Yeah, this was super light because it was Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wasn't Hocus Pocus? No, Hocus Pocus was
Hocus
Family.
Pocus. No, well, it was on ABC Family, but it was a Disney movie.
Is it?
Yeah, the Halloweentown was like a Disney original series or whatever, or show or movie.
Yeah, I mean, Halloweentown did have that like super Halloweenish.
Yeah.
Not the movie like Michael Myers. Like it had like the Halloween spirit. It was.
Oh yeah.
It was like really heavy in that movie. Like that's all that there was. Like.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want to live there. And
Yeah, I don't know.
The thing that I really remember the most is that like weird skeleton taxi driver.
Yeah,
like,
he was Benny, I think, or whatever.
Yeah, he was cool at first, and then he turned out to be like a fucking douchebag.
I think he was like possessed by Calabar. I think that's what it was. But
wow, why would someone with a nice name like Calabar possess you?
You know, I just don't know, Samael. Who would do such a thing?
Seems like quite the pickle.
I agree completely, but yeah, man. You know what I noticed that was actually kind of interesting? I want to talk about this like a little bit. Was in both of these movies actually, there's this like heavy theme of like not believing in Halloween at first and stuff like that, or not wanting to like be exposed to it or something, because Max in Hocus Pocus, you know, came from fucking, you know, like California.
Surf's up, dude.
Yeah, like Shaw, man, you know. and he didn't believe any of it until he it was funny as hell, like the second he like lit the black flame candle, he was basically like, oh shit, okay, like this is real.
Yeah, it shit turned 180 real quick for him.
Yeah. But the kid in Halloweentown though was like a denier right up until the very end, basically, when he found out he had powers. And even then he was like, oh, it must be static electricity. Yeah, what's wrong with you?
It's like, bro, you went to Halloween Town.
Yeah, you literally defeated a warlock.
Find it on a map and tell me that you weren't in some fucking magical alternate world. You fucking you little cocksucker.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's just interesting because it exposes this idea of like maybe Halloween is too much for kids, at least, you know. But then it flips it on its head and it, you know, exposes not exposes, but kind of conveys these like messages of, you know what, it's good because it helps you express your creativity and everything, and it's just fun, it's spooky, you know, and it's just really cool. So I'm glad that those messages were present, and I think that's part of the reason why, like, you and I and you know, other people not only our age but, you know, around our age or older or younger or whatever, you know, you don't have to be any particular age to like this movie, but I think that's kind of like what keeps reaffirming my love for horror and Halloween. Yeah, is like stuff like this, because it's basically saying, you know what, Halloween's great.
Yeah, and this stuff will never die, because like once something's cemented as a classic, it doesn't matter how many new people say, like younger people say it's bad, like it doesn't, who gives a flying hoot.
Exactly, yeah, because I mean, I'm sure there are people out there who hate both of these movies, but fuck those people, because you know what, we love it.
They're bad people.
Yeah, completely. I mean, probably the people who do are like under 16 years old, you know.
And they were hatched from an egg. Their parents reproduced asexually. And
if I told them that, you know what, Fortnite sucks, they're just gonna freak out and like jump off the ceiling.
They'll fucking have like a fucking nosebleed and like have like a pulmonary embolism.
Yeah. Just suddenly develop cervical cancer or something.
Right.
But
would be a shame.
Right? No, I'm so sad for you. But yeah, I love both of these movies. Honestly, I would say I'm probably more of a fan of Hocus Pocus, just because it's got that kind of darker vibe, and
I'm a Hocus Pocus
funnier
guy, because I watched that when I was like fucking 3-4. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the first movies I watched, along with like Jason Goes to Hell and Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, these two are just, in my opinion, the best because they have the strongest Halloween vibe to them. They convey the most kind of spirit, and I think that they're just like the two coolest movies. You know, there are a lot of other great family-friendly Halloween type movies. You know, including like all the Scooby-Doo stuff, Addams Family.
We made a list.
Oh yeah.
There's another classic Disney movie. Like we still gotta like, we should touch on it because I think it's just been like left in the dock for a little bit.
Okay.
The Don't Look Under the Bed. The one with like the imaginary friends turn into boogeymen when you ignore them.
Yeah, that one's dope. Yeah,
and Watcher in the Woods, remember that?
Ah, which one is that? I don't know.
With Hillary, was it Hillary Duff?
I don't know. What was it about?
It was, I don't know, but people said it was like really unsettling, and I vaguely remember it. So guys, besides these two, check out Don't Look Under the Bed and Watcher in the Woods.
Yeah.
And Coraline. And Monster House. Beetlejuice. Have you watched Monster House?
Yeah, I love that movie.
I fucking love it. Oh my god.
Paranorman's also really good.
Paranorman is fire.
What's the one with the dog?
Hotel Transylvania is good.
Hotel Transylvania is good. The one with the dog is oh god. I'm sad that it's not Paranorman. It's the black and white one.
I don't know. I was just gonna make a joke and say Wolfpire. Oh yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas. That's another one.
Of course, yes.
The Corpse Bride.
Yes. Addams Family.
That's
a great one. I almost included it as like a main thing here, but I think the other two just deserve the spot a little bit more. But Addams Family is very good.
Any episode of Goosebumps. Yes. It's on Netflix. Yeah. Any episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Mm-hmm. That one's on Nick Splat or what's the other one called?
Well, VRV has Nick Splat. Yeah.
Yep.
So if you have VRV, you can get it as well.
What's some other fire family-friendly Halloween movies?
Twitches was pretty good, actually.
What was it?
Remember that one, Twitches?
No.
With Kia and Tamara Mowry or whatever?
No, I don't.
It was pretty solid.
Watch the first Halloween episode of That's So Raven.
Yeah.
There's the Zack and Cody Halloween episodes. Mm-hmm. Basically anything from anything after 1990 and after Halloween related, family friendly, watch it because 1980s was kind of weak with like family friendly spooky movies, you know.
Yeah, they weren't that great. It was really like when like ABC Family and Disney Channel were like at their prime, and like Nick were all at their prime. That was the best.
Yeah, honestly, like. So, I mean, you can find our lists. It's still on our website at gravediscussions.net.
Yep.
I put a lot of those family-friendly ones, like the Tale of Cutter's Treasure, and all of those. You can go check them out at gravediscussions.net.
You know what I would say is even a good one, even though it's not quite as like Halloween-y, horror-y as The Goonies. I don't know. I think that's just a great one to watch. Yeah.
I agree. Just because of the blah.
Yeah, it's kind of got some like spooky, I guess, elements, but I think it's just a good one anyway. But there's a lot of really great stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's some newer stuff that I haven't seen that's pretty good too. But yeah, our time when we were kids, that was definitely like the best.
We basically we listed everything from Nightmare Before Christmas up until like Don't Look Under the Bed. So I would say we've went across the whole spectrum, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think we've pretty much covered it. So that's probably going to wrap it up here for episode number 30. And
wow, we've been here for 30 weeks.
I can't believe it. And we're going strong. We're going to.
What a good episode to do too, Hocus Pocus.
Yes.
And fucking Halloweentown.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. We're starting Halloween off right. And if you guys want to be here with us for this Grave Discussions Halloween, then you can go follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Grave Discussions. You can also find us on the Sports Radio Detroit site, and you can find all of our stuff on that website that Samael mentioned, gravediscussions.net. Go check it out. We're always adding new stuff. We're probably going to add more new posts.
I think it's time for another written review.
Oh yes,
I think we should do one like.
I was thinking about doing it for Hellfest.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
The theater one?
Or it's like a theme park or wherever where there's like a masked killer. Remember
the new
that
one, right?
Yeah, the new one. It's actually out in theaters, so I was thinking about going to watch it.
Oh, we were supposed to go watch that.
Yeah. So we might find time.
Or we could like save that one for an episode and we could do a written one on Bloodfest.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
You should finish Bloodfest.
I definitely will watch Bloodfest. So yeah, we might do that. Be on the lookout. Just follow all our stuff. Bookmark our site. And then, you'll be able to catch all grave discussions all the time. But with that, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for having us for this first of many Halloween special episodes.
And we will see you next week for part 2 of Frighttober with grave discussions.
This has been an SRD production.